Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Hello, this is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a beautiful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your comments, and thank you for your thumbs up. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. And several of you asked me to talk about Alexander Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, running for president. And I have some thoughts about that, but I want to give you some facts about it. AOC has not said she is running for president, and she has not announced a campaign, but she also hasn't shut the door on the idea. And that's what they all say. Well, I haven't shut the door yet. But she wants to be influential in Washington, D.C. So she has said that her political ambitions extend beyond seeking the presidency or elected titles. But we notice that she hasn't given up her job as Congresswoman yet. So until she gives up that job, we're not going to be able to take anything she says in a news cycle seriously. AOC's recent polling leads signal Democratic voter frustration with the party's establishment, not a confirmed presidential ambition. The polls create pressure and opportunity, but she herself has not said she's running. She knows that she would be taking a chance if she did. What the polls actually show is that she is at the top or near the top of two important polls. And it shows her favorability among Democratic voters and their strong support for progressive economic policies. But here's what you have to think about when you're thinking about Democratic politics, and you have to think about Black Americans because we are their most reliable voting bloc. At least we have been in the past. I don't know if that's going to be true this election cycle. AOC is not all that popular with Southern Black people, and that's where the strength of the Democratic Party for Black voters is. Some Black voters would vote for her, for sure, but many would not. Black Americans are not a monolith. That's what we keep hearing. But as a whole, we tend to be moderate to liberal, not far left. And AOC is far left. AOC is popular with younger, very progressive Black voters, but older and church-rooted Black voters are more skeptical of her brand of politics. So she'd get some Black votes, but not the overwhelming support that mainstream Democrats usually get. So that's your answer right there as to whether or not she would win. Black voters tend to prioritize stability over disruption. Now, I'm talking about the Black people who vote. Black people like practical wins over ideological purity. Because, see, she's been hanging around with Bernie Sanders and they've been talking about this, that, and the third, and nobody really understands what they're talking about. So, Black people really like for you to come talk straight. Come talk like an old Southern white man, because that's what we're used to, or Barack Obama, who is very clear and very articulate about who he is. Black people like coalition building over confrontation. All of this confrontation that we saw with this congressman from Tennessee because Tennessee redrew their political map. Black people don't like that. And Black people do like experience. So AOC's brand is bold, ideological, and confrontational, which resonates with some Black voters, but not the majority. And I think I should say this just in case somebody doesn't know. Black Americans are the most reliable Democratic voting bloc. Black Americans, especially Black voters over 40, have the highest Democratic loyalty of any major group. They have very high turnout in key states, outsized influence in Democratic primaries, and decisive power in states like Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and North Carolina. Black voters are often the deciding factor in who becomes the Democratic nominee. Black people are the deciding factor. In 2020, voters in South Carolina reshaped the entire primary. You remember that Joe Biden wasn't doing any good until he went to South Carolina. And Jim Clyburn almost promised him that he was going to win South Carolina. And he did win South Carolina. And so goes South Carolina, so goes the rest of the South. So he won. Joe Biden won in 2020. Joe Biden was an old white man from the good old boy system. So he couldn't go wrong supporting Joe Biden. Now, I want to say something about a woman president, and I have said it before, but I'll say it again. If Hillary Clinton didn't win in 2016, when she was the most qualified person to be president, that is a sign. And you will notice that Donald Trump has beat two women. He hasn't beat a man, white or black. He has beat two women. Kamala jumped up and ran after that and lost. AOC can jump up and run and she'll lose too. Michelle Obama has already called it. America is not ready for a woman president. America is still drunk, as I've said before, on these old white men. President Obama came in and made the best deal that America is going to get from Iran, and they just shoot it off. Now, Donald Trump has gone and made a fool out of himself, and they haven't said anything about it because America is drunk with male leadership, especially old white men. So that's all I got to say about it. Okay, y'all, let me know what you think about the video and have a good day.